There's so many pools that we go to where people really don't know who is in the seat. They'll come up to me, they'll think that I'm the driver. I said, no, the man over there is the one you want to talk to. And they're just amazed.
I think some people just test the water. Some guys jump off of cliffs. Some guys jump out of perfectly good airplanes. They call them thrill seekers. Are you always the wild man? Or are you just real calm? I'm the first guy. Every time. When I grew up, we had chickens, we had cattle, we had hogs. We lived exactly 1 mile from the ball diamond. I got to play baseball. It was so cool to get off the farm to play. So, I mean, when they said run, man, I ran. When I went to Florida on a full-ride baseball scholarship, 13 of the guys were from Indiana. Big husky farm boys probably felt the same way about the sport as I did.
Larry was kind of an icon before the accident. You know, Larry was bigger in life. I'd go down to a local bar. All of a sudden, you would hear all these motorcycles, and Larry Koester was one of them. He would back his motorcycle to the back door and blow smoke inside, and everybody thought that was cool as hell. And that's where I remember Larry Koester just being a, I guess, hell on wheels.
That Cadillac was in 3 demolition derbies.
Cadillac. Is that what you outran the cops in?
No,
That's a demo car.
that was a demolition derby
I
car.
don't believe it.
I
I'm
won the
just
chain
saying.
race with that thing.
How many people to take you put them pants on?
I would
I think I was 19. I met him at an arm wrestling meet.
I was sitting there, and I'd check out the girls going by, and I kind of looked up, and it was Caesar. I'm like, wow, she's pretty cute.
He just made a presence when he came in the room. You couldn't help but see him. He's just one of those striking people.
We talked, seemed like the whole night long.
It's like, I think maybe this might be the guy.
I'd never had so much fun with any one person.
We were married here at St. Wendell, at the Catholic Church, 4th of July.
Where is this? Where'd you find these pictures? Top of the game, you know. Seemed like life was as good as it could be, and then the accident happened, and the whole thing was up in the air. After I got married, I still hadn't slowed down. I had a motorcycle that would run 160 mile an hour, but I got rid of it because I thought I was going to get hurt. I had a baby girl. Adam was on the way. I just thought it was time to get rid of that. And I did. And then I turned over a farm tractor that went all of about 14 miles an hour. It was the day after our 5th wedding anniversary. I just built my new home, and alongside the driveway, there was a steep bank. You couldn't mow it because it was probably 12 foot high. I must have been chopping close to the bank. When I raised that chopper up, the bank caved away, and the tractor turned upside down and flipped off this bank. My legs were pinned underneath the steering wheel. A piece of steel went in the back of my head. I don't really remember anything else after that.
I was actually back in the bathroom getting ready when Larry's mom come flying through the door. There was a horrible accident in our driveway.
The whole time that this tractor's laying there, the gas is running out of the tank. When it sparked, it ignited all the gas.
My mom called my brothers, and the neighbors were stretching garden hoses together to try to put out the fire.
My brother dove into the fire and dragged me out. By that time, I'd already quit breathing.
It was just absolute chaos. They called the medevacs from Fort Campbell, and Larry and I flew to Indy.
Number one, we didn't know if he would wake up. Number two, when he did wake up, was he gonna be normal? We just didn't know. They didn't know. Killed me. Killed me. He was always my big brother, my protector. And just killed me to see him hurting, in pain. Would have traded places with him in a New York second.
Six weeks later, I was laying in a hospital bed. I didn't even know anything had happened. I'm like, Caesar, you gotta rub my feet. They feel like they're burning. She gets this puzzled look on her face. She finally said, I can't. I said, why, are they gone? And she said, yes. I don't even think you can absorb that much at one time.
We were there for 16 weeks. We were there for 4 months. From July to October.
Day by day, it just starts soaking in, and I'm trying to figure out how the hell I'm gonna do anything. I was in this little room looking out a window, feeling like I was in prison. I wanted to go home.
The day he came home was a big day because I finally got to see my dad, because I lived with my aunt and uncle for months. All the other pictures, I don't see many pictures with him having legs or anything like that. So this is the only way I know my dad. That's the first time we really got to spend time with him.
People always say, if you just wouldn't have got on that bank. And I'm saying, you know what? If's a really big word. It seems like when things happen, they happen for a reason. And if you keep a positive attitude, you will find out why that happened.
After lots of hugs, kisses, and welcome homes, Larry, his wife Caesar, and their 2 children, Ashley and Adam, finally were reunited at home.
I'm speechless after seeing all them little kids and all them people at St. Wendell.
It means a lot. It really does. Everybody, we got cards. The last count I had was 443. That was probably a month and a half ago. So everybody's really been supportive to us.
Yeah, and it's beautiful out here. And they mowed the bank. I didn't have to mow the bank.
Lots and lots of people came, and they brought food, and they was trying to console me, and I was still looking out a window. I was trying to fake it. I was trying to act like there was nothing wrong in it, and my mind was going bonkers. I wanted to be the breadwinner, and I wasn't. I wanted to be the man, and I wasn't. I'm this worthless guy, and I can't do anything anymore.
Couldn't go to work. He didn't have the strength. Yeah, that was probably a dark period for him.
When you came home, did it not like freak you out what you had to do? The things that you had to do? You just did it. You just don't have a choice.
Right. The day I left him here with you when I went to the grocery store, it's like, you can handle her. She's 3. She walks around. She can talk.
I'm in the living room. I've got my burn suit on. Ashley starts hollering for me, "Daddy, you gotta come here. Daddy, you gotta come here." I'm trying to get in my chair, and I can't put myself in my chair. And the more I tried, the more frustrated I got. The time I got back here, I had tears in my eyes because I was so frustrated with myself. She throws her arms around my neck, and she goes, "Don't cry, Daddy. I love you even without your legs." She didn't care that I didn't have any legs. She probably wouldn't have cared if I didn't have any arms. She wanted a daddy. And I thought, man, be a daddy. I mean, within a week, I start wrestling around with the kids, playing with them, like a daddy should. And the more I played with them, the stronger I got. And I mean, in like a week or 2 weeks, maybe at the most, I called the shop and I went to work. Adam went with me everywhere I went. He had his little Oshkosh Bagosh bib overhauls on, and him and his little 9/16 wrench that he packed around everywhere. But he was my man, and we were hanging out together. It was awesome. I was savoring every second of it. He's been with me tractor pulling since he was a little kid, and he absorbed so much of it.
Yeah, Adam was definitely a tinkerer from the word go. Now, in his career, that's what he does. He's an engine builder. He's actually very good at it.
He's a machinist, tool and die. He's a perfectionist when it comes to the motor.
Adam thinks mechanically, and then Dad brings in the analytical side of it, and they make a really good team, for sure.
Well, I pulled some local pulls with a little homemade tractor that my brother had. And then I bought a tractor. I've been driving ever since. Well, 4 days, 1 pull.
Not an hour. hours.
9 hours.
Story of our lives.
On the road again.
Come on, Papa.
Okay. I'm glad you're with me. I wouldn't know which way to go. See you in a couple of days, Mom, Dad. My kids gave me a reason to live. I think I should use that.
Four days before we start, you can always see the anticipation start coming up.
How are you? You ready to pull?
Everybody has a job. We know what needs to be done. There's no sitting on the back seat thinking that I'm just gonna coast through this. Nobody coasts through the Koesters.
We're on a driver's meeting. We'll be back. You know, back when I was doing all the crazy stuff, it just was the thrill of the moment. Just like now on that tractor is still the wild part of me coming out. I just think it's the next page.
Here, Sissy, here's your headphones. You put those on, show me how you put them on. Carson, who's gonna win?
Daddy
And who else?
and Papa.
And who else?
Uncle Adam.
Okay,
Uncle Adam.
so first and second, that's good then.
Pew!
I was wondering.
It's all kind of boring until that motor starts up. You can feel it. It's time to rock.
All right, good luck.
Love ya.
Well, I've been pulling for 29 years, and this thing just rocks your world every time you get in it. It leaves like a dragster. It goes fast right out of the hole. If you have the ability to control that much power, it's kind of like man over machine. I mean, it's great. It's just a great rush. I'm gonna go as fast as I can, as long as I can. I never thought I'd get so much excitement out of watching Adam drive until he drove. And I really think it is better to watch him go down the track than it is for me to drive myself. About the time you want to quit, or about the time you think you've had enough of it, you're thinking, I need to keep doing this. There's a reason. I ain't nobody. You all are somebody. And those little kids are the only reason we're here.
Well, Larry and I first became really close when I got really sick back in 2012. My dad somehow was talking to Larry on the phone one day and told him I was down because I had to learn how to re-walk. And Larry says, give the phone to Courtney. Larry gave me a pep talk telling me not to feel sorry for myself and that there's kids out there just like me that don't give up. And when I saw Larry 2 months after, I ran up to him, I gave him a big hug, and I said, thank you for being there. Thank you for talking to me.
If you can talk to somebody from your heart and tell them what you've been through, seems like it. Some people grasp it, or it touches their heart. When things are as bad as they get, you pray, and the first prayer I said was, let me come home and raise my kids. God, I think he must have listened to me because I got to come home. I mean, here it is, almost 30 years later, and I'm still getting to be with him. Pretty cool. I want people to look back and say, damn, he had all this stuff happen and he just never gave up. That's all you gotta do. Just never give up.